What is up, everyone? I am Jamie with threelittlegoats.com. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today we are in the soap studio because it has been below freezing the last week and we're not doing anything out there. So today we are in here where it's a little bit warmer and we're going to make some tallow and honey cream. Now, I see a lot of social media posts about mixing tallow and honey, and I've made a few shorts on our TikTok and our Facebook and our Instagram reels. I've done a lot of shorts over there as far as skincare and doing it correctly. If you guys want me to start posting them here on YouTube under the shorts, let me know as well. But my biggest concern is people just mixing honey and tallow together without realizing that they're just mixing up a nice big bowl of bacteria, because while honey is self-preserving, it still has water in it. So the minute you mix it with something else like tallow, it is going to start growing things like bacteria, mold, and yeast. And in the future, we're actually going to go into the science behind it and do some science experiments. But for now, I'm going to show you how to properly add honey to your skincare products. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, y'all. So I have already started by measuring out all of my butters, my stearic acid, and my emulsifier, and I'm getting these all melted down in my little chocolate melter. If you've been around for a while, you know I use a Wilton melter to melt down my small batches. It just makes it a little bit easier for me personally. But we're going to get these melted down, and while that is going, we're going to measure out our liquids. So here I'm going to measure out my water. You could also use goat milk. You could use just straight up regular milk, coconut milk. I use distilled water, and then because I freeze dry our goat milk, I'm going to add some freeze dried goat milk to this. And get my freeze dried milk in there. I don't throw my freeze dried milk in a blender to pulse it down into a powder before I package it. So we are literally just throwing it in here, and it will dissolve and come together as it heats up. So, all right, and then I'm going to give this a quick stir, and we're going to get this heated up. All right, while we're waiting for everything to heat up and melt down, we're going to go ahead and sterilize all of our jars. I've already washed and cleaned these all very thoroughly, and I'm going to now spray them down with my rubbing alcohol, which I use 99%. If you have a hard problem finding it locally or online, I pick mine up at the farm supply store. And it's the easiest place to find it. And it comes in gallon containers. So I'm spraying both the lids, the inserts, everything. If it's going to come in contact with this lotion, it's actually more of a cream, it's going to get alcohol on it. Oh, don't be rude. Okay. Alright. And then that way this stuff has time to dry while we're making everything. Alright, so my freeze-dried goat milk is heated up in my water. My oils that are off camera right now are nice and melted. So if you've watched any of my other soap making videos, you know you want this to be hotter than this because the melting point in stearic acid is pretty high. So if you want to avoid trying to have grainy lotions, you want to make sure this is hotter so that stearic acid doesn't solidify before everything else does. So at 130, I'm at 180 here. So I'm going to let this cool down a little bit, and I'll bring you back when we're closer to temp. Alright, so everything is pretty good as far as temperature goes. I gave this a quick blitz with the stick blender just to make sure I didn't have any freeze-dried goat milk left kind of chunked up in there. So now I'm going to add in my honey, because at this temp I'm under 150 degrees, so I'm okay with that. I'm using Manuka honey. You can use any honey you prefer. I just like all of the good benefits that come with Manuka. But just make sure you're not adding it when everything is too hot, or else you're just gonna get honey without any of the good benefits. Alright, water, and get this mixed up. In my recipe, I make a very thick cream, so I'm not too concerned with it being this thick already. But I am going to bring over my scale so we can add in our preservative, which is kind of the most important part of this process. And I'm going to give this just a good stick blend with this blend. I'm going to mix it by hand. Words are hard today, y'all. Just to get everything scraped off the sides. And then I'm going to hit it with the stick blender again. So we make sure that preservative is really in there. Cleaned up, and once this is cooled down, I'll bring it back so we can put it in jars. Alright, so I finally got some piping bags. They're not the ones I like. Those are still waiting to be delivered. But this is what my local store had, so this is what I'm using. So we're gonna fill up all of our jars. Now this is still a little bit warm, so I'm not going to put the lids on quite yet. I'm going to wait until it is completely cooled, and it will actually thicken up a little bit more. Alright, so our creams are cooled. They are ready to be packaged up. I have to print off labels for these guys still. I ran out of label paper for them, but they are ready to be capped, and I can label them later. This is just the remnants of what's in the bowl, so I can show you the consistency. When I say she is thick, I mean she is thick. It's actually way too much for me to use, but rubs right in and leaves you nice and soft, and it smells so good. So I'm going to get these guys all capped off, and I'll see you in the outro. So that is what I've got for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really does help. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We put out videos every single week. And as always, there are more information down in the description box below. And if you do want to see all of those shorts, let me know, and I will start posting them here as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.